Welcome to Deleted Saves. On this episode, Tenchu, Stealth Assassins, on the PlayStation 1. There have been several contenders for the stealth action crown in the history of video games. During the period of dominance that was the PlayStation 1, many believe, and fair enough I suppose, that the title of Stealth Action King was held by Metal Gear Solid. But just because many people believe something does not make it so. Today we will be discussing the game I think was the true holder of that title, 1998's Tenchu, Stealth Assassins. In pop culture, characters that are considered good at being stealthy, by which I mean staying in the shadows, being able to contort themselves into awkward spaces to remain hidden, and being very good at sucker punching unsuspecting guards, broadly fall into two groups, professional thieves and ninjas. In Tenchu, you take on the role of a ninja in the service of Lord Goda, a warlord during this highly stylized and somewhat fictionalized version of Japan's Sengoku, or Warring States, period, that historically lasted around 200 years. You can choose to play either the gruff, sword-carrying Rikimaru, or the speedy, dual-knife-wielding Ayame, both loyal killers in Lord Goda's secret service. In your work for your master, you are sent across several missions to punish, disloyal merchants and vassals, steal enemy plans, and other ninja-type activities until you encounter a rogue evil ninja attempting to bring his demonic master into the mortal world. It is at this point the plot takes a left turn into the supernatural, having you use your skills to slay cultists and the undead instead of bandits and enemy warlords. Gameplay attempts to emulate the classic ideal of the ninja. Stay in the shadows and on rooftops. Don't be seen. Enemies have rudimentary detection meters that grow as you approach them. Once noticed, they go into search mode, and should they find you, a chase mode. It is important not to get noticed, of course. While your ninja may be a master killer while in stealth, their combat prowess drops significantly in open combat as one would expect. Ninjas were never meant to be frontline combatants. Surprisingly, there are in fact several boss encounters that must be dealt with, in which you are forced to fight in the open in single combat. So you must learn to use your wits and stick-and-move tactics during these encounters, otherwise failure is guaranteed. Levels were designed to be an open sandbox style of play. Get to the goal on one side of the map, from the other however you choose. Just don't get caught, and eliminate those in your way by silence. However, don't harm the innocent. Before each stage, you are given the option to take along a limited number of items to assist you. Healing potions, poison rice, lures, trail markers, throwing knives, and some sort of bomb. Should you perform well in the prior stages, even better gear will be offered to you. But the tool you will always have with you is your trusty grappling hook, which allows you to scale the mostly vertical 3D environments you will be encountering. This is a key component to the success of this stealth action title, being able to move above and below the enemy, unseen, and fully utilize the 3D environment to your advantage, as well as hunt down helpful secrets in the levels themselves. Tenchu is also a game of patience. This game was designed well before it became common to give the player such tools as characters with X-ray vision or super hearing to track and detect enemies on the screen. You had to use your eyes and ears as a player, listening for sound cues and memorizing enemy patrol patterns before deciding to strike from the shadows or move past the enemies undetected. It's quite amazing how far game development has come in the intervening years in order to ease this level of interactivity on the player. Earlier, I had made a comparison between Tenchu and Metal Gear Solid, another classic stealth action title. While they may be similar in spirit, perhaps that is not such a fair comparison. The latter game can be quite linear, and only plays out in an over-the-top or top-down perspective, which disallows the player from utilizing the full environment. It also gives the player the option to use a lot of the rudimentary X-ray detection methods to avoid detection. In truth, the plot of Tenchu is much simpler compared to Metal Gear Solid's as well. A tale of sneaking and hunting down the enemies of a warlord while preserving honor as compared to the absolutely bananas convoluted sci-fi super spy movie in a game form that was crafted. But for pure stealth gameplay, Tenchu is by far the superior product. Initially, Tenchu was never supposed to be sold outside of Japan, due to what the developers at the time felt was more of a plot with local appeal. But it caught the attention of Activision. Yeah, that Activision. Who brought it to North America, where it was met with overwhelming success, being Activision's top seller in 1998. That success helped spawn a wealth of sequels and solidified Tenchu as a pillar of the stealth game community, along with rival Metal Gear Solid. Tenchu seemed to scratch a certain type of itch in Western gamers, much like how Shaw Brothers' kung fu movies scratched a certain type of itch with Western moviegoers, and codified certain unfortunate myths in popular Western culture. Tenchu was also a game I could not put down when I played it. This was another game that I tried as a weekend rental first, but just had to buy for myself. I was that impressed by the gameplay and the overall structure of the game. It really did make me feel like a sneaky ninja, even though the somewhat tonally out-of-place zombie-slaying stages later ruined that a bit. I guess I'm just a sucker for period pieces combined with mysticism like that. Tenchu Stealth Assassins is a game that needs to be experienced at least once, just to see what the real potential of what stealth games can be, compared to more modern games with simple stealth sections with a lot of tools to assist. It may be difficult to be patient these days while waiting on an older program code to direct character actions, but that patience rewards players with a rich game experience. Hey, no one ever said being a ninja was easy. Thank you for listening.